So next up on the show, you've seen him playing bad boy Harvey Gaskell in Coronation Street. You've seen him on Mr. Bates versus the Post Office earlier this year. It's actor Will Mellor. Thank you for joining us. So we're talking about being disconnected at Christmas now and data poverty, which is actually a thing. So talk us through this new research then. Were you surprised by any of the findings?
But do you know what? I wasn't aware of data poverty in itself because you don't even think about it. You know, when you pick up your mobile phone or you go online and whatever you do, and you just take it for granted, I think, a lot of the time, because you have it. And then when I found out that 1.9 million people in the UK, in UK households, are living in data poverty, it shocked me because I thought, well, how do they do things? Because our lives are on mobile phones nowadays, and it's a shame that it's got that way because I'm of the generation that I remember without the internet. I remember not having a mobile phone, and or when I did have a mobile phone, it was just for making calls and playing Snake. Remember that?
Yeah.
Things have changed now. Your lives are online, and and this campaign came around, and I realised that O2 are giving data away for free to people who need it. You know, to imagine being without data, not being able to be online, so you can't apply for jobs or send off your CV, or you can't even book a doctor's appointment now without being online. But then, more importantly, imagine at Christmas time you can't talk to your loved ones that maybe they live in a different country or they live in a different place. You can't use WhatsApp, you can't message. You know, it's so isolating.
Now you mentioned the Databanks. There are 70 of these opening throughout the UK.
This is like a food bank for data. So you can go to any O2 store and then you'll get an O2 SIM and you will get 12 months worth of data. I think it's 25 gigabytes of monthly data for 12 months, enough for 275 hours of internet browsing, just to stop you from feeling isolated, help you get back on your feet. And it's one less thing to worry about because if you can't afford data, you're struggling. You know, you're going to make choices whether you can afford to feed your kids or, you know, and this is for people like that. And I think the way it is now, the rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer. So the more we can do for these people that are on the breadline who are struggling, then this is one less thing for them to worry about.
And what was life like for you growing up? Because I think I'm right in saying you came from a pretty poor background. You were living in poverty.
Well, I didn't know that we were as poor as we was because on the estate that we lived in, I suppose we were all in the same boat. So you got nothing to compare it to. It's only when you look back that I realised that, you know, ice on the inside of your bedroom window and we were sleeping in coats and all my clothes came from jumble sales. So which I loved. I thought it was like an event. You go to the church and there was clothes everywhere. And I didn't realise these were clothes that people had thrown out or, you know, they're given to charity for people like us who couldn't afford clothes. I had four sisters. One of them was disabled, and so it was a real struggle for. I know my mum had four kids under five at one point, and my dad was in prison for a while, and we used to have debt collectors and stuff come to the door. But I didn't know then. I used to think it was a game. Every time there's a knock at the door, my mum said, "Find the best hiding place," and I didn't know why. But obviously now it's because we owed money out. But do you know what? It's something to be said that, you know, I'm very proud of where I came from, and also we were always clean, we was always loved, and you know what, that's all we needed. I didn't need designer labels to feel special. So yeah, it's only looking back that I realized how much of a struggle it was for my mum and dad.
Now, we saw you recently on TV in Mr. Bates versus the Post Office. That was a pretty special and important TV show.
Unbelievable. I could not. I mean, we hoped it was going to make a bit of a splash. Obviously, we hoped people was going to watch it, talk about it. We wanted to give the people that we were playing, the real some postmasters, a voice because they've been shouting from the rooftops and no one was listening. And the drama took off and it just kept going. It's unprecedented how many views it's had because I think it's the highest rated show in the last 30 years and went around the world and on the news and it's still in the press today. I'm so proud of it. It changed so much for me personally, but also for people that was involved in it. It gave them a voice, and now I feel like I have a duty to keep the message out there until these people get sorted because they're not getting any younger and they're still waiting for their compensation. Some are still waiting for the money back that they stole off them, which I can't believe. It's like giving the money back first before you start looking at the compensation. You know, But even Alan Bates, who was the head of all this, still hasn't had all his money back. It's an absolute joke. People died, people went to prison, and I think people should go to prison now. But the people who did this, people at the post office, people like Paula Venables and Angela van den Bogen, they need to be brought and made accountable for what they did. But yes, thank you for asking. It was an unbelievable show, and I'm so proud to be involved in it.
So what about plans for Christmas then? What have you got lined up?
I'm going to spend some time with the family as always. I mean, we wind down now at Christmas, and I spend a lot of time away filming and doing different things. And so Christmas is a time when, yeah, board games and a few drinks, eat too much, drink too much, and have loads of fun, watch movies, just do that sort of stuff. That's what Christmas is about. And I think, you know, with it being Christmas, that's why this campaign I'm coming back to here, I think it's a perfect time because it's about giving, right? And looking out for the people that need it. So I have to encourage anybody this Christmas, make sure people aren't isolated and don't feel alone, and encourage somebody, if they are struggling, to go to an O2 store and see if they can get free data and get back online, giving something for free to people that need it around Christmas time.
And the National Databank is available in stores in Belfast as well. Well, Will, it's been great talking to you.
You have a great Christmas, yeah, whatever you're doing.
You too.